Good morning. It's Monday, October 9th, and this is a follow-up to the rant that I did quickly yesterday. Israel is at war with Hamas. It's a terrible war. And yesterday's sneak attack by Hamas that came by land and by sea was a horrible event. Not only did they destroy and kill many people, they chose to take women and carry them back to their villages naked, and the locals in those villages were spitting on the women. This is not war. This is revenge. And so I believe that Israeli army forces and navy forces and the whole country there has every right to destroy Hamas to the nth degree. It's one thing to fight a war. It's another thing to denigrate the people. It's another thing to abuse victims who are nothing to do with you. Yes, you are a piss-poor nation governed by a piss-poor government, and that's what you should be trying to correct, not the locals next door who are trying to live peacefully and who have done good things for the world. What has Gaza produced beyond its idiocy? What has Gaza produced that is comparable to the things that Israel have done for the world? Nothing. Gaza is living in their own medieval world, and they are a disgrace to humanity. So they go and they attack Israel because Israel has kept them at bay for many, many years. Yes, I agree that they probably have grievances, but they're not human. They do not behave like sensible people. They have rules and regulations that are inhumane. Why should they be given any opportunity to survive? So they're running a country there that is a shame. It's a disgrace to have a nation like that on earth. So Netanyahu has readily admitted that the country of Israel is embarking on a long and difficult war as it deals with an unprecedented hostage crisis after Palestinian militants launched a surprise land, sea, and air attack from Gaza. They have killed hundreds of people. Hundreds and hundreds of people have been killed. And they have been killed many times themselves. So what are they going to gain from this? In the view of most of the world, this will be an atrocity. However, there is a huge contingent that will agree with the Palestinians. In fact, I heard this morning that there was a group of people in New York that want to go out in the city and gather and celebrate the attack on Israel. And Governor Hochul said they can't do that. They will not be allowed to gather and celebrate like that. Imagine that. We have people in this country who stand with the Palestinians. And they're really not standing with the Palestinians. I believe those people are 100% anti-Semites. And that's what we're dealing with in the world. The realism that anti-Semitism exists. And there are many, many out there who will be very happy that the people of Gaza struck at Israel like this. But I don't think they'll be happy when Israel kicks their ass. That there will be a long war ahead as it battles to push the Hamas fighters out of its country. The shock attack that took place on Saturday is the deadliest day in decades for Israel. And it came after long months of surging violence between the Palestinians and the Israelis, with long-running conflict now heading into uncharted and dangerous new territory. And it'll be uncharted and dangerous for both sides. And questions are swirling about how the Israeli military and intelligence apparatus was caught off guard in one of the country's worst security failures. So Israel responded Sunday by formally declaring war against Hamas, setting the stage for a large-scale response against the Islamist militant group. Netanyahu vowed of mighty vengeance on Hamas, and that could lead to an unprecedented assault It is urging the Palestinians in Gaza to leave now, and adding that the military was clearing terrorists out of Israeli communities and restoring control. So throughout Saturday and into Sunday, Hamas launched thousands of rockets from the Gaza Strip into Israel. And they made many direct hits on multiple locations inside the country, including Tel Aviv. And then there were terror groups that entered Israel and infiltrated military towns and bases and farms, shooting at civilians and taking hostages. And as I mentioned before, taking naked women back to the territory so their locals could spit on them. That's a disgrace. It's a disgrace the way the people in Gaza treat their women anyhow. But beyond the women, the number of dead in Israel following the surprise attack is over 500, with another 1,500 injured. So Israel launched airstrikes on Hamas targets in Gaza, while its forces clashed on the ground with the Hamas fighters in villages and army bases and border crossings. And Israeli warplanes continued to pound Gaza on Sunday morning, and the Israeli Defense Forces saying it struck 426 targets, including 10 towers used by Hamas, and said the drones were used overnight Saturday to strike a number of terrorist squads in the area surrounding the Gaza Strip. So in Gaza there's at least 370 dead Palestinians and another 2,200 injured in the war strikes. And there are children who have been wounded on both sides, and that's a terrible thing. But this is the first phase of the operation, and it has ended in the destruction of a majority of the enemy forces that penetrated the Israeli country. And Netanyahu announced Israeli forces have started an offensive formation which will continue until the objectives are achieved. Now, I am sure that the Israelis have much better equipment than those in Gaza. So I'm sure that Israel will win this war. And I am hoping that they destroy Gaza. In fact, I would be happy if they drove Gaza into the sea, because we cannot have people like that living in the world who are determined to kill Jews. That's a disgrace. But we're used to it by now, I would think. We've been around for 5,000 years. It's a terrible thing that we're facing here. I don't know when and if it will ever end. So I leave you with that. Have a great day if you can. Bye.